I mean, we know coins, we know they have two sides, right? Half the time when you flip coins, you're gonna get heads. Does that mean what happened to me making that video when I flipped the coin and I got 8 heads and 2 tails? Does that mean I'm like, "Arr!" No, because if I kept flipping, which I did once the camera was off, I got the tails caught up with the heads. And after I stopped, after 50 or 60 or 70, it stabilized. It stabilized, which is exactly what I was hoping would happen. But even if it doesn't, that doesn't mean the coin is broken. It means you have an anomaly, which is something else we're gonna measure, the idea of an outlier. Okay, questions, comments, concerns about this warm-up? Feel pretty good? Sick. Hand those up. When you get done, put your name on and hand them up. That's beautiful. Just hand them in front of your rows and I'll make a little pile. Yes. Well, wanna take 5 now? Y'all look kind of worn. There's a lot of talking, a lot of math. Actually, it wasn't a lot of math. There was a lot of like rethinking about how we think about it. Let's take 5, yeah?
I just circled the
Let's take 5 and wander around a little bit. Take 5, get some air, get some water.
So Oregon got its state in 1859.
Damn it! Damn it! I can't go backwards.
I know.
What the hell's 1865 is the end of the Civil War.
That's what it was. Yeah.
Damn it! And 1856 is nothing. Well, I'm sure something happened in 1856.
Maybe it was
Somebody was
Washington.
born, somebody died. Something happened. Yes. Yes, well, that's okay. That's okay. Oh, that's okay, that's all right, that's totally fine. And right now, all you have to do to use it is just open up and then goof around with the spreadsheet, but I can help you with that too.
That would be
Absolutely.
nice.
No, for sure, brother. That would be nice. That'd be nice, Sean.
I'd rather not risk messing something.
No, and that's why I said in the video, if you can't get your re-randomizer to work, just let me know. And I'll work with you till the
Oh, did you want to, it was Lee,
It was what?
yeah, for the Excel.
Yes?
The Excel. He didn't have a dog, he actually had a horse,
Wait, hang on a second.
so that was a little odd, but,
Good day again. Oh, Lou!
yeah, Lou.
Oh, dude. He doesn't say that in his videos? Oh my god, I'm so sad. Because whenever he sees me, he's like, dude, how you doing? Dude. I love him. He took my stats class a year ago. He's got a beard now, huh?
He's got
I'm the one on the left. Oh, I love him. Dude, he's one of my favorite humans.
Yeah.
I love his horse. He, one of the first people I met here when I started working here 20 years ago, and, dude, that's how he greets me. Dude, maybe it's just me, I don't know. And he took my stats class a year ago. He put it in his performance plan. He's like, I want to understand stats better, so I took Sean's stats class. It was so much fun having him in here because he loved what I do with Excel. He's like, dude, you know it's not supposed, he's where I learned this from. Like, it's not supposed to do what you're making it do. And he's like, it's kind of awesome that you do make it do it. And then he would show like, hey, try this might actually be better. So that was, yeah, I learned a lot from having him in the class. It was
Do you
super
want
fun.
to see what next week's thing we're
Kinda.
doing?
I kinda do. Give me 1 second while you.
Yeah, I made a little calendar.
This up real quick, get the link. Yep, there you go, my copy is fine, I'm opening this link and have it ready for us. Should we have sound today? Yeah, we got sound, that's good. Not freeze the screen, just turn it off. Okay, good, yes, let me see what you do next round.
So this is what I'm gonna have to like try to get to do on Excel.
So get that into Excel?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. This is so cool. I actually teach you how to do this sometimes too in my classes, like
Yeah.
get that into cells.
Mm-hmm.
So you're gonna be learning text to columns?
Yep.
Oh, hell yeah, that's one of the best tricks. See, I love, this is why I think I should have taken that class, because I taught myself all that through running into errors. Like you copy something offline that looks like it's in a table, you drop it into a spreadsheet, it all goes into one cell. You're
It's
like,
awesome.
shit.
It's
Now I gotta figure out how to, and then you Google it, you know, this is again why Google is so wonderful. You're like, how do you take data out of one cell and put it into multiple cells? Wow, text to columns, I'll be damned, look at that.
oh yeah.
So good. So incredibly
so
good.
fun.
Get some water for myself. It's upstairs. quiz? Starts with an A, has an L and an I, and it's my favorite. I use that every day
There's
now.
also another L in that, but I think it's easier to do one L.
It took me like 7 seconds, but I got it. Promise. Are you serious? Where was it?
Not entirely on topic, but we're gonna talk about the Monty Hall paradox at all at one point.
We can if you want to.
Kind of do.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I'll build a lesson on it later.
Okay.
You want to? Actually, I actually built the doors years ago.
Well,
And you can actually play it. Yeah. Anybody ever heard of that, the Monty Hall paradox? Anybody heard of that? The Monty Hall, or the Monty Hall problem? Let me write myself a note here. And I like that idea because, well, anytime a student wants to do something, it makes me happy because it means you care enough to ask. But also, it's such a weird, I usually use it in Math 105 to introduce probability because it gets your attention. It's like, wait a minute, that's not what I was expecting. It's related to the Jimmy Fallon question, if you think about it. Right, you can play and you make a choice. And the choice here is go first or second. The choice there is do I stay with my door or do I switch to a door? And at first, the two choices seem equally likely, right? It's 50-50 either way. But in both games, it's not, which is what makes it an interesting problem. Monty Hall is definitely less intuitive than Russian egg roulette. Monty Hall in 2-4. I'll send that to myself and come back to it a little bit. I like that. I'll be sneaking in, get ready to do this penny spin experiment, which I also
Can I ask you a question about the quizzes really quick?
Sure!
So because there's 2 due tomorrow, does that mean there's only 10 left after that?
Let's talk about that. This is a good syllabus question, Chelsea, I appreciate it. I'm handing you an in-class quiz right now. Or no. This counts as one of the quizzes you have to do in this course. The 2 tomorrow also count as some of the ones you have to do in this course. How many of the quizzes, this one and the 2 posted on Canvas, do you have to do this week? Zero. You don't have to do any of them if you don't want to. I know, Chelsea, you're like, what do you tell me, Michelle? What do you tell me?
Thank you.
How many quizzes do you have to do this term? 10 by the end. How many am I going to offer you? Greater than 10.
I think you said 12.
Well, way more than that. Probably closer to 20 or 25.
Oh.
Maybe even close to 30.
Okay.
Because I'm constant, like the idea, Lexi, when you mentioned, oh, June 28th, mine's July 28th. Like as soon as you said that, it made me think of, oh, we can get a quiz out of that. So that's where that second quiz came from this week. I wasn't planning on having 2 in Canvas. I was planning on having this and the one that was in Canvas. So I tend to write them on the fly as things come up. Monty Hall might become one of those. Who knows? You know, that might become a quiz and not a lesson. We'll see. So your job is to get 10 done by the end of the term. Pick and choose. So you don't have to do them both tomorrow if you don't want, Chelsea. You can look at them both and say, I like this one, I don't like that one, or vice versa, or I don't like either of them. I did this one in class and I'm happy. That's fine too. Yeah. Talk to me. Tell me your name again too.
Alex.
Alex, thank you.
Yeah. So this one's not the same one that's online.
No,
right?
this
Okay.
is a different one.
Okay,
This is
cool.
it's still the Russian egg roulette idea, but the one online compares. Well, we'll see that in a second.
And this doesn't count as one of our 10
It does.
quizzes?
All
It
quizzes
does?
count
Oh,
towards your
okay,
10.
cool.
So in class ones, out of class ones, they all count towards your 10. Yeah, cool. I know it's a little bit weird to get used to. What I want y'all to do real quick is just read. Put your name on it for sure, because you're gonna hand this back to me for that class. And then just read down all the way through, right above question 1. Right above question 1, and then stop. I mean, you keep going if you want, but I'm gonna stop you and make you watch something after, before you get to question 1.
I have a question about question 1.
Well, excellent.
Are you asking me the probability of the discrete action of the second egg being grabbed, considering one had already been grabbed?
Yes.
Not the probability of both of them.
No, absolutely. I love how both of you guys use the word discrete today. How dare you both? Dare you both? Keep using it, please. I love it. It's fabulous. Your comp sci.
No,
No.
no,
What are you studying?
biology.
Oh, biology.
Yeah.
Because there's a course called Discrete Mathematics, which is phenomenal. And it's tied to both the questions that both of you guys brought up today. So, well, just, it doesn't get taught till spring. Put that in the back of your mind. Might interest you. If you need elective credit, which with bio you might not. You got a math.
No, I have to do all of my arts and letters and all of
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
And that's definitely not an
I
arts and
wanted
letters class.
to-
Yeah, it's all good, it's all good. Give me a thumbs up when you've read down through question one. You don't have to do question one yet. I wanna revisit the idea of that 33%. Okay, so first of all, does that 33% make sense?
Yeah.
33% chance of getting a raw egg. Okay, now I use the word chance there. Your job is now, Sean, say it without using the word chance. So what does it mean to have a 33% chance of something happening? I think I put a footnote on this thing too that answers the question for you. I'm a big fan of footnotes. I'm from the 80s, and footnotes were a thing back with the Gen Xers, so I like to use footnotes. You'll see little things that look like exponents that just refer down to the bottom of pages. You'll get used to them. You'll get used to them. So what does it mean to have a 33% chance? The first person going, they have a 33% chance to get the raw egg. You tell me.
You're 33% more likely to choose a raw egg.
Ooh. Can I change my question? Don't use the word likely. Don't use likely, don't use chance, don't use probability, don't use any word that means probability. I'm such a bastard. I really am.
If you go first.
You go first.
33% of what you choose.
Oh, I love it. That's good. That's it.
Raw egg.
That's not where I would have gone, but that's correct. 33% of the time, the person that goes first gets a raw egg. 33% of the time, the person that goes first gets a raw egg. Check this out. I decided to test this versus what I could find online.
Good luck, buddy. Should we turn on that?
So, just so you know, I'm keeping the cumulative results down here. You see how it says one raw is that's the Peyton Manning Magic Johnson. So I'm keeping track of that. Remember, Peyton got a raw egg first when he went? So the first egg that comes out, so far, we got one raw instance. Now we're gonna go Bradley Cooper.
Oh.
Make it real.
We're gonna look at a number of different games, but not the whole games, just the first egg.
I'm gonna so wrong. I'm gonna go hard. Good luck. Here you go, buddy, right? Yeah. Thanks so much for coming here, bro. Yeah, do it right now.
Ah. So I'm gonna keep stats down here.
First egg.
I mean, I feel great.
Usually the odds are in your favor.
You know, I'm
This
doing
one's good.
reverse psychology.
Welcome
I
to
feel
the
great
show.
about it.
Yeah, I feel great too.
Okay, ready?
Yeah.
Do you know where he got this idea from? I love the story behind this. So there was a Maryland high school that was doing a fundraiser to raise money for something, books or supplies, something that schools are always raising money for. And the principal and the vice principal said, we will play this against each other if you raise X dollars, like $10,000 or something. Fallon found out about it, started doing it on his show, and gave the school like 10 times what they needed in funding as a thank you for letting him steal their idea. So anyway, I think it's just so cool. Keep going, more data. And please realize something too, I keep stopping and I apologize. That 8 out of 12, or excuse me, that 4 out of 12 on your quiz, the 33%, the only way you can know that is by knowing how many eggs were in the crate, right? You know there are 12, 4 are raw. What we're doing here is we're observing the results of different experiments, but we have no idea how many are raw and how many are hard-boiled right now, do we? All we're doing is watching what's happening as it comes out, yes? So we don't have to know how many are in the crate, how many are hard-boiled, how many are raw. All we're seeing is the results of the first egg each time. Hit me.
Okay, you might have already answered.
It's okay, I'll answer it again.
But it's For 1 and 2, it's not the chances of it happening in succession, it's the
Hold that
chances
thought.
of it
Let's
getting-
get past the first egg first, is that okay? I promise we haven't even gotten number 1 yet. We're still hacking out the definition of what that 33% means. Is that fair?
Yeah.
Great question, we'll get to that in a second. Look, I did it twice. That's taken, he usually hosts.
He fall down a hole? He fell down a well. All right. Oh, why am I nervous? Good luck.
So nervous.
It's gonna be fun. Ooh. Hey, hard luck. Sure, that was wonderful tuna.
Jimmy?
You can't cook it in your hand either. I don't know, like your hand. I don't know if you have hot hand. Good luck, good luck, good luck.
Jimmy Foster!
A1, welcome to the show.
Hello, Larry. And if we were stopping along the way and calculating the fraction, the percentages, they'd be changing, right? At one point it was 100%, then it was 50%. Who's playing now? Who's this guy? Thank you, thank you.
Okay, real good. Okay. I smelled it. You smelled that. I smelled my egg. Yeah, you smelled that thing right there. You smelled that egg.
Oh, God, look at that. Terrible. Worse.
Don't go by the lighting either. I'm gonna try to move my shadow. Good luck! I feel you can kind of tell. I'm pretty positive this one's. Yeah, you can't tell. I've played the game before, yeah. You can't tell. This is what makes it fun, yeah. I'm just gonna go for it. Yeah, good to see you, buddy. I have no fear of eggs. Nope.
Choose wisely, my friend.
Up direction, baby.
Good luck! What it feels? I feel good about this, actually. Yeah. Right? Does it? In your face. In my face. Yeah, Jimmy. Yeah, in your face. You sure?
Oh, Beckham. This is brilliant. Oh, the awesome hair to catch it, though.
I know. Yes.
Beckham thing.
Oh my goodness. Exactly.
Who's this? Oh, is that Ed Norton?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How's it feel? How's it feel? It feels completely solid. Yeah. That's the one you want to go with? Jiminy Christmas. That's the one you want to go with. You think you can't tell? No, you can't.
Okay.
That's how you tell. No, you can't. That's not how you tell. That's hard more than us. That's definitely how you tell. Good luck, buddy. Good luck.
Thanks.
Anyone from the audience?
Next door sister. What's her name?
Hella?
Thank you. Door sister, right? Ella, thank you. Ella.
Big King like that.
Yeah, thank you. Her real name. Thank you.
Smash it and have faith.
It's totally Ella. Isn't that it? Oh, she's so cute.
I'm nervous.
I know, they're great.
Do it, go for all. I gotta do it all. It's not hard. Just try it, trust me.
Oh. Okay, now, there's another one. I think there's another, here it is, it's right here. Jason Sudeikis actually played, and I can't find the video. At least the time I made this video, I couldn't. So this is in my class Total Fit that I take with G-Man sometimes, and Kale wanted to play with us. So this is one of my former students, Kale, me with less hair. And she wanted to play with me, so this is the first egg. She's explaining what she did. She put little notes on all the eggs. Okay, hang on. I'm only gonna show you the first egg.
What are they on?
Okay, so notice we know nothing about what was in the egg carton. All we know is some of them are hard boiled, some of them are raw. We have no idea how many are each kind, right? However, by the time we were done, did you catch the numbers at the end? 6 of the first ones were raw, and 12 were hard boiled. What's the chance of a raw egg on the first pull? 33%! 6 out of 18. It works out to the same 33 that you got here. Now, is that magic? No. It's statistics. It's statistics. But what's more powerful about the way we did it here is we didn't have to know the components of the carton. We were just watching an experiment in the wild, if you will. Does that kind of make sense? All right, now what I want you all to do, yeah, I got time for this. This is perfect. Turn this off. Is work your way through the rest of the quiz. Now, a couple like questions have come up while we're asking. That is the chance of the first egg coming out raw. What you're going to be doing on this quiz is analyzing each of the steps of the game yesterday. So in question number 1, it says Magic went second and also got a raw egg. What's the chance of just that happening? So the question that Kirsten Andrew asked is a good one. Am I just analyzing that event? Just Magic going? And the answer is yes. So in other words, one of the raw eggs has been removed from the carton at this point, yes? Because Peyton already had it smashed on his head. Which means there is 1 egg less in the carton left. Wow, that was a hard sentence to say. So now you have to keep track of 2 things. A, how many eggs left in the carton? And B, how many raw and hard boiled are left in the carton? Yes? So just so you remember, originally 8 hard boiled, 4 raw. Keep track. Okay? Go for it. I'm gonna shut up now. And Kirsten, that answered your question, right?
Yeah.
Awesome. Yes, just keep going. You're doing great. I'll get you a copy of this quiz. I'm just getting nosy. Tell me to get lost.
No, it's just whenever the teachers do that, I always assume that I did something wrong.
I'm just visiting with you. That's all. Whoa, this glass is right-handed. It's like the church paradox, except sideways. Almost everybody's on this side of the room, and then this is like the front of the church. Dominus, 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 and everybody. The bathrooms. Too soon, Joe, sorry. Why is that? Why is that?
For me, it's
someone walked across the room.
Yeah.
If you came from that side and that door was open, you might be on that side. But you came down from that side.
From this side, yeah.
Yeah.
I almost followed you to your office.
You did,
No,
you did.
last.
That was your first mistake.
Oh my god.
Yeah, talk to each other. And thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. In-class quizzes in this class, you can work with each other if you want. You can ask me. You can talk to your neighbors. I should have been more clear about that. Warm-ups, in-class quizzes, you by all means can communicate with each other. I want you to get perfect scores on these things. I do. And I want them to be a communal kind of learning experience. That's kind of how you learn. I personally think well, or better, is by talking ideas through with people. So you can also work on your own. You don't have to work with anybody else if you don't want to. You can work on your own. Or you can communicate with your neighbors. You can call me over if you want to run an idea by me. Down with that too. Yeah, I should have been more clear about that because I know a lot of you probably aren't used to that in math classes. So get used to it here if you want to. Hi.
It says you can answer the question, so I just answered the question, right?
Perfectly fine. Perfectly. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, I love this. Yeah. 243 after Peyton drew his hard boiled. You're good. Oh, yeah, you're good. Yeah, you're good. You let me down, bro. I believe it was his exact words.
I know.
You are. Because Peyton took an egg out, which means there's only 11 left. And there's only 10 left.
11 or 7.
Okay.
Okay, I think I need to change. So shiny.
So happy.
For 3 years, it's 7 out of 9, right?
Well, so this one, I shifted the gears up a little bit here. So at this point right here, this was Peyton's 5th draw, correct? Okay, so there's 8 eggs left, which means there was a 25% chance of him getting a raw egg at that point. So now I'm saying, what would the chance have been of him drawing a hard-boiled one? So still 8 eggs. So what would it be? Whatever's left, right? Yeah, I'm trying to get you, because everybody in this room probably at some point has at least informally done probability somewhere. I just want to kind of get that feeling kind of consistently across all 20, 25 of us or so. So that's all. And a lot of it is language based, so it's good to ask, like, what exactly do you mean here? Do you mean are we pulling another egg, or is it the same situation? Awesome. Okay, so this is a little bit weird because you didn't watch the video with this. Oh, did I email it to you?
But it's
So what happened was,
I put the 8 on top.
Peyton grabbed one of the egg smashes on this egg.
You got 2 out of 8, right?
Yeah, at that point, there were 12 eggs in the crate. But magic went second, and the eggs were in the crate. So only 11 eggs, and out of those 11, how many are still there? Remember? 3. There you go. You got 11, not 12. Is that cool? Because once the egg smash, it can't be reused.
For the last one,
Dude!
I said
Dude!
3,
It's okay.
just because.
It's not about being good or bad, it's about being big.
So there were 8.
Oh wait, now did I send a note back to you? You sent me that this morning, yes? Did you send me a Pages document? Somebody sent me a Pages document and I can't open them. Was it a Mac? Could you do me a favor and just convert it to a PDF and send it back over? And we'll play with that. We might not even have time to get to it today to see how time is going. So we'll play with that. Appreciate you. Technology, man, gets in the way sometimes. Sometimes. It's awesome. Simulate all kinds of egg probabilities with Excel. But I can't open the Pages document. Don't get me started on my Gmail.
There was still 3 raw eggs left.
Your email phone was full. Screw you, Google.
There were 2 raw eggs left, because the first was raw and the
Who
second
has
was
the
raw.
time to go through and delete all that?
It's ridiculous. I literally deleted the gate of pictures out of my photos. And then it went back and the warning went away. I went out and harvested apples off of our trees, came back in 2 hours later and it said it was over full again. I'm like, dude, I was harvesting apples. Are you counting apples towards my photo?
The first 2 were raw, and then you're left with 2
Your
raw
kids
eggs.
hold the button down and
It
take like
goes
a
down
million
to
pictures.
6 hard.
That's
I don't think he does. Shit. He does his hiding
He
somewhere.
sounds older now.
He has his own phone.
Yeah, I think my brain was somewhere else
He
right now.
has his own phone.
just fill up your phone
Number
and
six.
take pictures and that's it.
Because.
I did that water polo practice last night. He was taking shots, and I was doing the sport mode shooting. I was watching the ball go through, so that was kind of fun. But then I had to go find the one he wanted and delete the rest. It's fun. I love technology. It makes things so possible that weren't possible
And
10,
then,
15
there's
years ago.
7, you have to track at least 3 eggs,
So
because
it's
one
worth the
player
pain
can
in
do
the
it
ass.
twice.
Oh, boys.
And then maximum, I said 11 eggs.
Okay, yeah, cause you could get 2 and then.
Yeah, cause basically, once 3 of the raw eggs are done, one person's lost.
You're never gonna crack that fourth roll. Except Bradley Cooper, when he played Jimmy, they went down to the last 2 eggs. And they knew. They figured out that the next person, exactly, but they decided to have some fun and they both grabbed both eggs and they both smashed it. They had egg on their face. It was kind of fun. So, but you're absolutely correct. You never actually have to crack the last one. You know, the game's over. By the rules of the game, it's over like this.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, cause, at most 3 of the raw eggs crack, and that's the one has to be left over.
Yep.
One player is
Like
not
right
really
up, you can tell that, you know what I mean?
That's all right. Yeah, yeah. It's one of those ones where you have to think about the possibilities. And that's why the tree diagram would be absolutely awful. Because the least number of branches is 3, but then it just keeps going to 11, and it's just absurd. I mean, it's an absurd math problem. I actually had some people say, let's just figure it out one day. I'm like, all right, clear your calendar. And we started doing it, and after 10 minutes, they're like, this is insane. I'm like, it is. It's completely insane. So, Sean, your question can be answered.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to.
Theoretically.
Nobody wants to. Literally nobody wants to, but it's okay. It can be answered.
Yeah.
So your point is well taken.
It's one of those that, it's one of those where it's definitive concepts that we're dealing with, so
Yes.
you can have an actual answer.
Absolutely true.
Which is not true of some other things that we're doing.
Absolutely. Well done, well done, well said.
On the 11th try.
Come over there. In front of the church over here.
The min's 3, right?
Absolutely.
I do know.
But here's the thing. There's still 9.
Right?
There were 12, right? Let's count this.
Yeah,
I don't
You
know
start with 12 eggs, right?
Right at the jump.
After round 1.
there.
After round 2, there are 10.
I'm just saying.
After round 3, there are 9. After round 4, there are 8. So that should be 2 out of 9. That would be 2 out of 8, right? Because that's the beginning of round 5.
It makes sense.
That makes sense. Okay, so that's going to be 2 out of 8, which is actually a nice number. It comes out nice and
Yeah,
tough.
it's like be awake for that.
5%. You're close. I mean, you're not off by much. You're just off by the 1 egg at the bottom. Beautiful. Is that cool? Makes sense. Well, I like when things make sense.
But when I first started, I was.
These are called conditional probabilities. You don't have to know that. What makes this a challenge is you have to keep track of the numbers changing, right? This is not like flipping a coin.
It was incorrect.
Flip a coin, 50%, 50%, 50%, 50%. This is not like rolling a die.
You only have
1 in
20%
6.
chance of getting
1 in
it
6.
right at this point, but
1 in
at the beginning
6.
of the
You know what this is like?
33% chance.
Think casinos. What game is this like? We've talked about it today. Somebody just said it.
Blackjack.
It's like blackjack. It's also like poker. Definitely like blackjack, though. If you're sitting at a blackjack table and the dealer puts an ace down, that's 1 fewer ace still in the deck. So the chance of an ace just went down because you're seeing an ace in front of you. That's like these eggs, yeah. If somebody smashes a raw egg on their head on the first round, there are now fewer raw eggs left in the crate. So this is called, you don't have to memorize this phrase, it's called conditional probability. The next event depends on what happened previously. Does that kind of make sense, y'all? This is why card counting works. This is why nobody makes money on craps in the long run. Nobody counts craps dice. Like, I'm gonna go to the craps table and count dice. You can't. It's impossible. The reason card counting works is you keep track of what's coming out of the deck, and then you math what's left potentially in the deck. Dice, coins, roulette wheels, Don't listen to anybody that tells you that you can fix a roulette game in Vegas. You can't. A roulette wheel is a 38-sided die. That's all it is.
I thought you were supposed to have more odds with the roulette table, because
You-
there's more.
You've got more odds, but they're all slanted against you. Trust me. Vegas has that intentional. There's an intentionality to Vegas' slant.
They're very smart about it.
Yes, the reason casinos exist is because they can do math well. Actually, there's an old cartoon I saw years ago. Welcome to beautiful Las Vegas, graciously paid for by those who are bad at math. And that's the truth. I mean, when you go to the craps table saying, I'm gonna play till I win, I'm like, I would, if you win, get the hell out. That's the best thing you can do. Get out before you're gonna lose on average. You're gonna lose on average. You study this in Math 105, the idea of expected value. You keep playing roulette, you're gonna lose on average. You keep playing craps, you're gonna lose. You play blackjack? The house has an advantage unless you count cards. When you count cards, the advantage flips just slightly. Poker's a totally different animal. Poker's a skill-based game. You can actually make a lot of money playing poker. But that's a skill-based game. It's based on bluffing, and it's based on all kinds of things. Blackjack's more simple, but you can make money just a little bit at a time. Yeah, Drew.
Yeah, but a lot of casinos too don't even really have poker tables because it's like players against players. Like you have to play a certain kind of.
True.
It's like hold'em.
Whereas blackjack, you're playing the dealer.
You're playing the
Right,
house.
and you're playing the house, exactly.
You're doing like chasing.
Definitely. My main point is that this situation is more like blackjack than it is like craps. Because craps, every time you throw a pair of dice, it's the same chance of rolling a 7 or 11. But every time you pull an egg, it's a different chance. As you just saw, yeah? You just saw the chances shift, don't they? So Jimmy had a 33% chance of getting a raw egg on the first pull, right? What was Magic's chance? 27%. Does it make sense that that chance went down?
Yes.
It's less than Jimmy's, yeah, or less than Peyton's, isn't it? Peyton did him a favor. He took one of the raw eggs away. That makes it less likely. Even though the number of eggs went down too, the number of raw eggs went down. It made Peyton, Magic, less likely. I keep getting their names mixed up. Jimmy always goes second when he plays against his guests, so I keep screwing that up. Apologies. Good. So we got a what'd you say? 27%. Love that. Peyton got a hard boiler next. What's the chance of that happening? 80%. 10 eggs left, and 2 of the raw ones are out. That was awesome, yeah? It was awesome. 80% chance. Almost, I shouldn't say a guarantee, but it's a hell of a likely occurrence that he's going to get a hard-boiled one. Very unlikely to get a raw one there. And then I gave you a little bit, yeah, you're good. That's what Magic said. You're good, man. You're good. It's not good. It's an 80% chance of it happening. That's just observing what should have happened. Good. Then Magic got a hard-boiled one. At that point, what's the chance, y'all? I hear 78%?
78.
78, good. 7 out of 9, yeah. There's 7 hard-boiled left out of the 9 remaining. 7, good. And notice, the chance went down a little bit from 80%.
Cracked.
Because Peyton took one of the hard-boiled ones away, yeah? It shifted down a little bit. Makes sense. If you think about it, like numerically, it actually makes sense. And then, finally, the 5th pool. This was actually what ended our game, right? Peyton got a raw one at that point. Now, what was the chance of that happening at that point? 25%, yeah? 25% chance. That's very, very unlikely that would happen, except it did, because 25% still means 1 out of every 4. So it's unlikely, but not horribly unlikely. And now I contrasted that in number 5 with what's the chance he got a hard-boiled one instead? That'd be the other 75%. And then I wanted you to, Jimmy, at that point, right before Peyton grabbed that 5th egg, Jimmy said, "The odds are not in your favor, Mr. Manning." In that voice. Okay, so what do you think? Was he correct or incorrect?
Incorrect.
Completely incorrect. He was being, I think he was being a talk show host. He was trying to make people laugh. But there was actually, Jonas, want to use odds? He had 3 to 1 odds in favor. 3 to 1. There's, of the eggs left, there were 3 times as many hard-boiled as raw. He just happened to pick poorly, like that Nazi from Last Crusade. He chose poorly. All right, here we go. Now this isn't a probability question, number 7. It's just a think about the game question. What is the absolute maximum number of eggs this game takes to play?
Well,
Until somebody cracks 2 raw eggs on their head.
11.
11. You never have to crack the 12th egg.
Oh.
And here's why. Let's suppose it started with Jimmy and Magic. Not Jimmy and Magic, say it again. Peyton and Magic. Raw. So they got 2 raw eggs out, right? Now they start grabbing, and it could go hard boiled, hard boiled,
Right.
hard boiled, hard boiled, hard boiled, hard boiled, hard boiled, hard boiled.
Eggs don't
So now all the hard boiled ones are out, that's 8. 2 of the raw ones are out, that's 10.
That's fine.
There are now 2 eggs left. Somebody's gotta cook, like,
Somebody
only,
has to crack
each of them
it.
only have 1 raw egg on their heads right now. Somebody has to crack a second raw egg, which means the next person to go is gonna guaranteed crack a raw egg on their head. And which egg is that? That's the 11th one.
Okay.
Does that make sense, Chels? You gotta crack, if you wanna finish the game, you have to crack the 11th egg at that situation. Which is why the Bradley Cooper episode is fun. They actually got down to that. And then they both took the eggs that remained and decided to have fun and smash them together, and they both dripped out their faces. Yes,
It's the 11th.
because it's the 11th egg, because that is gonna match the first player. The first player cracked the raw eggs on their head somewhere, that 11th egg matches it with 2 raw eggs. Cool?
Right.
And then, last but not least, what's the minimum number of eggs it takes? 3. We actually saw that in the simulator, first case today, raw. And it was Tom Cruise as well, his game was over by 42 seconds. How Tom Cruise was that? Does this make sense, friends? So what you're looking at is you're looking at the rate of something happening. 25, yeah, let's go with 33%. 33% of the time, a third of the time, the person that goes first is gonna get a raw egg cracked on their head, a third of the time. And we saw that historically. I showed you a bunch of episodes that I pulled off a video, and one that I had to do with my buddy Cale. And you saw it. It was 6 raw and 12 hard boiled. Like, now that came out exact, which was kind of fun. I wasn't expecting that. But even if it doesn't come out exact, we saw earlier that with the simulation, you can see that 1/3 show up, and then any other probabilities you need. What I like about, I love this quiz because A, it gives you 10 points, which is great. It counts towards your grade. Yay, us. But it's a little bit artificial in the world of statistics. Because in the world of statistics, you don't get to see the egg carton, so to speak. Remember the question I asked earlier? What percent of kids have ADD? You don't get to see all the eggs in the egg carton being the container holding all the kids, and the eggs being whether or not they're hard-boiled or raw, meaning do they have ADD or not, right? It's either one or the other. They either do or they don't. But what's the chance that they do versus, is it 50-50 because there's 2 outcomes? Does half the world have ADD? Sometimes it seems that. But can you just say that there's 2 outcomes? Half the world has ADD. Can you say that? 50% chance. I've actually asked this question. Say that again.
So you could.
I love that. You can say anything you want. Doesn't mean it's right. I once asked students, I asked them questions about flipping coins, and I said, I'm about to walk down to Mazama in about an hour, and I'm gonna go across that crosswalk on College Way that goes over to Mazama, and then later I'll come back over it. And I said, I either get hit in that crosswalk or I don't, which is true. I'm either gonna get hit by a car or I won't. What's the chance I get hit in that crosswalk? And somebody always says 50-50.
No,
I go, holy
well,
shit.
either they did or they don't. So,
God, either I do or I don't.
yeah.
But that does not mean that those 2 things are equally likely to happen. Thank God, otherwise I'd be dead twice over, 10,000 times over by now. Does that make sense? So in reality, you don't always get to see the egg carton, which is why I think it's better in some ways to have watched that video we watched earlier where I showed you the first egg coming out in multiple games. At no point did we even know, you didn't even have to have the description of what the carton had in it to understand that that 1/3 was there, did you? Just keep track. 6 raw, 12 hard boiled, done. Is that cool? Hand those quizzes up. Damn things. Yes, on Tuesday. But I will also give you grades in your progress report. Oh, good. Tomorrow, I will email you progress reports with the grades in them. And I'll give them back to you on Tuesday. Fair enough? Yeah, so that's kind of the way class is going to rock for the most part. Now, we got a little bit of time left, not a lot, and that's okay. I didn't plan on having a lot of time left today. I planned on spending a lot of time doing this, which is exactly, I think, what we needed to do. We needed to kind of, oh, thank you so much, y'all. For a church over here. Snack church, I like that. Decorate. Sings it. Statistics. Pascal over there. Put Gauss up here. Maybe I shouldn't do that. It's probably a FERPA violation. All right, I'm not gonna do that. Everybody, go into Canvas real quick. Let's keep religion separate. Stats, huh? Maybe. I don't want to use Microsoft Edge to hell with you. Anybody else feel that strongly against the web browser, or is it just me?
Yeah, I
I
remember
do.
Safari like
I
that.
agree.
Yeah, Safari, Chrome, Firefox, give me anything else except Edge. It's still kickback from Internet Explorer, which I despise.
Yeah, that shit sucked.
Yeah, either of those two made by Microsoft, I just avoid like the
I
play.
know, which is such a bummer because so many of the programs they make are so good and their web browsers are so bad.
It's like the
So bad. Like Snipping Tool, it's one of the greatest programs any computer company ever made.
Yep.
I can't believe Microsoft made it sometimes, but they did. Picture Resizer, which isn't even a thing anymore, but it used to be this downloadable. Anyway. Alright, stats. I think I put this in. Let's just take a look real quick. Can you see in modules for week 1 to 5 game data?
Like the library?
Can you see? Go ahead and open that up, y'all. It should open for you. Let's just see if it opens. Real quick question. Actually, let's just give me a thumbs up if it opened for you.